it's I again. I decided to cook something that was Filipino, so I'm like, I'm just gonna vlog it again because I know that a lot of you guys don't cook Filipino food. So this is gonna be P2 friendly. Okay, here goes. I'm gonna heat up my, it's another wok type pan. I used it the last time. And I got it on medium right now. And this dish is the ginger. The ginger is the main ingredient. So ginger could be sometimes tough to work with if you don't really... Whoops. That flew off the handle there. Anyways. Peeling the ginger is easier with a potato peeler. But if you're one of those professional knife pairers people, then you can do this with a knife. But this is much easier with a potato peeler and safer. And I sharpened my knife. My knives are dull right now. I don't know what's going on, but they don't need to be small. In fact, sometimes I just put them in like this, really big. But since I'm making a small dish, I'm just going to cut these into smaller pieces. And I might not even need all of these because you don't want the ginger to be too strong in the dish. Okay, and then the onion, easy. It's just a quarter of a medium onion. And I'm not going to cut them because it's going to be a brothy thing. I'm not going to cut them small. So just like this size. Okay. I put 1 tablespoon of MCT oil in here. I want to keep feeding my body with MCT oil because it's the only thing that's keeping me going. I forgot how hard it is to be on HCG when you don't have much to lose anymore. You know, like you just don't have the same kind of energy you get because you're not burning as much fat. All right. Onions first. Now onions tend to soak up a lot of oil, so sometimes I won't do the onions first. When my mom cooks it, she puts the onions almost last. I'm even gonna salt them just a little bit. Okay? And pepper. Always salt and pepper, remember? I want to make sure I get the MCT oil in the dish because I want to have, you know, I know some of it is evaporating, but I want to get as much MCT oil I can get in the dish to maximize the benefits. Anyways, I'm using this is 4 ounces of ground chicken and 4 ounces of chicken on a bone, not including the bone, okay? So I'm going to assume it might be a little bit over 4 ounces. I think it's pretty close. And I'm salting it. And pepper. Not too much because I'm going to add the fish sauce, but the fish sauce is really for the broth, to flavor the broth. This dish is called Tinola. Tinola. Okay, it can be made with various types of vegetables, but bok choy is good. The vegetable we use in the Philippines for this dish is summer squash, sayote, which is green, kind of has this color to it. But they sell them at the local grocery stores. It's nothing foreign or tropical. I mean, it's nothing hard to get. So this is good. I like to have the leaves in there. Just cut out. That's just a whole bunch because I don't care if I get a lot of vegetables. So I'm going to put the chicken and saute the chicken in there. I do that because I want the chicken broth. Okay? I might have to add a little chicken broth because it's not enough chicken, but I don't want to make too big of a dish because I don't want to have the temptation of eating it all. With this dish I can eat a lot. This is one of my favorite Filipino dishes. It's easy and it's delicious. So you just brown the chicken in here. Brown it up really good. I brown it up to keep the outsides kind of intact, and when I put the water in there to get the broth out of the chicken, it won't make my chicken too soggy, I don't like it falling off the bone too much, so I'm gonna brown it up. Sometimes it may require me to put the heat up higher because I'm using a cheap pan, you know. And I'm looking at it right now. This is the first time I'm doing it with mixed chicken. But I realized, and I should have thought of it before, that I was using chicken breast, ground chicken breast, and that cooks faster. So it might be a little more dry, but since it's going to be in the soup, it's not going to matter. So, okay. Now I'm going to add the water. I'm going to add 1 cup of water. And then that water is going to bring out the flavor in the chicken. And here's the fish sauce. Never take a big whiff of the fish sauce unless you really know what it smells like. I know what it makes my food taste like, so I like it. But my kids are like, ah! I'm going to put a tablespoon of fish sauce in here. To start with. And my dad always told me, after you put the fish sauce in it, don't mix it. That way people don't smell it. I think he said that the fish sauce smell comes out more if you mix it right away. So I'm just going to put that in there. And then I'm going to cover it. I'm going to use this cover because I haven't, actually, yeah, I don't have a cover this size. So I'm going to cover it. I'm going to show you how it looks. Let's see. Looks like that. There's the oil I used to make my lumpia the other day. Anyways, looks like that. And I'm going to cover it. And I'm going to put the heat down to about, maybe keep it at medium because I think it can cook faster because there's only 2 drumsticks in there. But I put the ginger in there. But the reason why I cut it this big is so I can take it out later. Because you don't want, unless you like ginger, but some, like my kids for example, they love this dish. They just don't want to bite into a chunk of ginger, which is totally understandable. I should have put the ginger in quite earlier actually. So leave it in there brewing with the ginger for another 5 minutes. Get that ginger taste in there. And you can actually just leave it in there. It's so big that I doubt that you guys are going to bite into it while you're eating there. But anyways, I'm going to leave that there and let it brew for a while. Okay, so I'm going to pause for now, okay? So while my chicken is brewing, I got a tip. So you know how you get these after you take the chicken out? And you get these nasty chicken juice smelly looking things in here. If you throw that in the trash and it's there for like a day or two, it's over. You gotta leave the house because it stinks so bad. So I learned this from my mom. I just take this whole thing and put it in the microwave for 1 minute. It cooks it all up. Voila! No more raw chicken. And I throw it away just like this. I could throw it right in my trash. Tip for the day. Usually I eat this dish with rice, but since I can't eat rice, I'm going to use the kelp noodles. And I'm not even going to crave or care that I'm no longer eating my Filipino dishes with rice. So I'm really, really happy about that. I'm going to show you something I had to do because I wanted it to cook a little faster. Okay, here's my chicken. What I did was that I cut into the drumsticks because you know how it takes long sometimes to get to the bone. So I cut the chicken and it looks like it's about ready. So I'm going to put the kelp noodles in. I might have to add more water. Looks like it's evaporated more than I wanted it to. But if I did add some moisture to it, I would add chicken broth. But I really don't want to ruin the taste that I've created here. So it might not turn out, it might not be a soup. Which when we eat it with Filipino food, we don't, I mean, when we Filipinos eat tinola, we always eat it with rice. It's never, we don't eat it like a soup. At least that's not how we learn to eat it. We just use the broth to kind of sprinkle over the rice so that the rice gets, you know, the sauce on it. But it's not meant to be, really meant to be a soup. Now look at it, see? So I can do, at this moment I can do I can either put more fish sauce in there because it does need a little bit more, but some people don't like that much. So what we do, what we Filipinos do, is we'll leave it like that because it tastes great, and we'll on the dinner table we'll put fish sauce in a little dish, and whoever wants more can just spoon it in, just like a condiment. It is a condiment. So oh, I forgot to put the bok choy in there. I'm going to put the leaves in there. Whoop. And I can't fit the entire bok choy in there, so I'm going to just put in the rest of the leaf, like the base of the leaf in here. And then I'm going to leave it in here, cover it up again. Just leave it in there. Leave it in there until the greens wilt down, and then it's all done. I haven't really, this is a dish that took longer than the other one, but it still hasn't been half an hour, so it's still pretty quick. And my suggestion, what I would do if I wasn't doing this cooking video, what I would have done was I would have cooked the rest of the chicken right here, look. But I didn't want it to take that long because I would have cooked the whole batch and then eaten it for, 2 or 3 days or whatever. So, I think it's almost done. When it's done, I'll get back on here. I gotta finish my Grey's Anatomy. Check it out. Look at, I got it, my computer on the pedestal while I'm washing dishes. Booyah! Multitasking. So since the broth kind of went away a little bit, I am gonna put chicken broth, but just a little because the regular chicken broth doesn't really taste, the same. I'm gonna put half a cup. And the only reason I'm putting the half a cup is so my bok choy gets cooked down. I'm going to save the rest of this bok choy for later on. I know it says don't eat the same things but for every meal, but I do that with no problem. So if I eat bok choy later for dinner, I don't see a problem with that. The ginger, I tasted it, and the ginger really makes a big difference. Really. And I'm going to put a little more fish sauce. This time I'm not going to measure because I'm going to do this to taste. And I like more pepper. So even though the broth is really flavored, it's really the chicken and the noodles and the vegetable that's going to have most of the good flavor in there. That's why we don't use this as a soup. We just take the broth and sprinkle it over our rice and it's all good. But now I use kelp noodles and I'm really happy. And I got the MCT oil in there. In fact, I might add another tablespoon of MCT oil in there just to get it in there, get more in there. But we'll see. It's up to you. I just dished it out. And that is my P2 friendly chicken tinola, it's called. And yeah, your Filipino recipe of the day. I love you guys. Talk to you later.